Hi, I'm Charlotte Donlin, and I have a First Sunday of Advent reading and some tips on celebrating Advent for you. A lot of people write and talk and speak and post about Advent, and one thing I hope to do is to provide some Advent resources and information that are a little more unique and different from what's typically posted. When I was earning an MFA in creative writing, Lauren Winter was one of my faculty mentors, and she remains a really good friend today. She is brilliant. She's a brilliant teacher. And one thing she taught me is that when I write about something that dozens or hundreds of other people have written about, I need to provide my own unique angle and twist and add new information and new interesting information to what's already out there. So, I want to say I read a New York Times article about Advent last year or the year before, and it was like literally things that we already all knew about Advent. I mean, maybe like people who know nothing about Christianity or the church year would learn something from that article, but I didn't. So my hope is to provide Advent videos and posts and resources and breath prayers using the Book of Common Prayer on IG Live. And I think those posts, those IG Live breath prayers using the Book of Common Prayer will also be on the Our Faith in Writing podcast. Don't hold me to that, but I think we'll be able to do that too. So anyway, my hope for today and any other days that I post or talk or write about Advent is to provide a little bit of information, at least, that isn't what everyone else has already shared. So I'm going to do a reading from The Great Belonging. I have a very short chapter about Advent, and then I'm going to talk about my amazing, beautiful Advent wreath that's behind me. I'm going to give a few tips on how to stabilize your candles. Well, there's really only one tip on how to stabilize your candle. And probably ramble about a few more things. So I'm going to start with the reading. Hopefully my publisher won't get mad at me for this. I did not ask for permission first. It's chapter 25 from The Great Belonging, my first book about loneliness and belonging, which you can buy anywhere you purchase books. The chapter title is 'Tis the Season. It's the first Sunday of Advent, the beginning of a new church year, the start of the season designed to draw me into the story of God's loving provision. I wake while my husband and children are still sleeping. Early weekend mornings are my favorite mornings because they give me extended time alone to read, write, and pray. I usually check social media too, but the previous night I had decided Sundays would be social media free for me. I want to refrain from Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram on Sundays until sundown. I want to enter more fully into the Sabbath, and one way to do that is to put a moratorium on scrolling through photos, opinions, news bites, memes, and cat videos. I walk down the hall to the kitchen table where an Advent wreath sits in the center, a circle of greenery and candles nestled into a foamy floral oasis. I light a purple candle for the first Sunday of Advent. Then I grab my phone and snap a photo. I can't help it. Well, I can help it, but I don't want to help it. For some reason, being alone feels too lonely. Maybe if other people were aware of where I am and what I'm doing, and if they approved of me being where I am and what I'm doing, I might feel less isolated or more distracted from my isolation. I edit the image of the burning candle. First, I crop it to remove the background distractions threatening to draw an observer's eye away from the photo's focus. Then I open Instagram and apply the slumber filter because it most distinctly displays the candle's flame. I post the picture along with a caption including the collect for the first Sunday of Advent, write one, from the Book of Common Prayer. I share an identical post on Facebook where I also insert a statement that I will be off social media for the rest of the day. If anyone needs me, they can email or text. The post shows my home, my faith, and myself as I want them to appear. My home as clean, warm, and inviting. My faith as lovely, calm, and rooted in the liturgical year. Myself as disciplined and free from the reign of social media. I pour a mug of coffee and sit down at the table, basking in the glow of that one purple candle. While I write in my journal and contemplate the season of waiting for Jesus's arrival, my phone notifies me of Instagram and Facebook likes. Several of my friends, as well as people I don't know and will never meet, approve my message. And bursts of dopamine distract me from my loneliness and lure me into thinking I'm seen and known. All right, that's chapter 25 from The Great Belonging. Yes, I'm totally poking fun of myself for the way I publicly celebrate Advent or observe Advent. And it's just kind of hilarious that I'm doing the same thing today, a few years after that first time that I really recognized what I was doing and the time I wrote about in the book. So yeah, like our motives are mixed. I want people to think I'm cool and that I'm like a good spiritual director and a good spiritual director for writers because I follow the church year. But also the church year really does like feed me and nourish me in ways that are meaningful. And so it's real too. Like it's genuine and it's something I love and it has really had an effect on my life and my faith and how I belong to myself and others and God and the world. But I can also get all markety about it too, which is probably what I'm doing right now, to be honest. So anyway, but also, I mean, I'm a spiritual director and I think I have a lot to offer as a spiritual director. So there's that too. Candles. So I learned about these a few years ago. And I just spilled coffee all over it, but it's called Biederman and Sons wax candle adapters. And it's these little like waxy discs, I guess you would say, that you can like push down into your candle holder and it keeps the candle secure where it's supposed to be. Mine look like they're a little crooked right now, so I might need to add another disc. But I bought them from Amazon. They help a lot with securing candles. You may already know about them. I didn't know about them until a few years ago, so I'm trying to share, the good information with people. My candle, what's it called? Advent wreath behind me was made by Mark Bayer, whom I met on Twitter or Instagram. I can't remember. He shared a photo of this Advent wreath last year and I had to have one, so I begged him to make one for me and he did, and I bought it and he shipped it to me. I don't know if he's selling them now, but maybe you can convince him to. I don't know, but I love it because it's spirally, and the church year is very spirally to me. Like, as we go through each of the seasons, we're engaging with Jesus's life, right? From his birth, expecting his birth in Advent, throughout his life, Lent, Easter, resurrection, all of that. So I like to imagine it as each year we inhabit the church year, it's like a spiraling closer, there's my finger spiraling, a spiraling closer to the life of Jesus and like a more intimate uniting of our lives with Jesus's life. So I love that the Advent wreath is a spiral in that it spirals up with each week of Advent. And then there's the center candle also for Christmas Day. I light my candles all the time. Like, you can light your Advent candle for dinner, for breakfast, while you're reading, while you're having a glass of wine or a cup of tea. Like, you don't only have to light it for 2 minutes and do a devotional and blow it out. So buy extra candles if you want to light it more. You don't have to use pink and purple candles. I didn't like the look of pink and purple with this Advent wreath, so I used white. You can do what you want. Like, you don't have to follow the rules with this. You can make it aesthetically pleasing if you want and not use the pink and purple candles. I mean, I do use those sometimes, and I think I might put another Advent wreath somewhere else in our house, and I'll probably use pink and purple. What else? I light my Advent wreath. I keep it lit like through Epiphany. So when we get to all 5 candles on Christmas Day, I keep lighting them. It becomes a Christmastide wreath and then an Epiphany wreath. And then I put it away after that. Again, that's why if you do that, you'll need a lot of candles. I probably should have written down some notes, but those are my like candle notes for Advent. Also, I'm doing breath prayers for Advent using the Book of Common Prayer right now over on Instagram Live. I might have mentioned that earlier in this video, but I did it today already. So that one is live on my Instagram account at Charlotte Donlin. I'm going to try to do it most days at 8 a.m. Central Time. I might miss some days because I miss things. It's hard for me to do things every day because life happens, and I'm not going to kill myself to do something every day when I don't have to. I'm probably also going to put those audio files on the Our Faith in Writing podcast soon. But I would love for you to join me there. And I think that's all. I'm going to try to share when I find great churchier things where people are sharing new and good information that isn't what we already know. I'm going to try to share it on Instagram and in my email newsletter and things like that. So if you see anything that's interesting and new, I'd love for you to send it to me. My email address is charlotte@charlottedonlin.com. I think that's all. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. I hope you notice God's presence in your life and in the world around you. I hope today, especially, that you have a deep sense of belonging to yourself, to others, to God, and the world.